What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Mackenzie Rasmus, your favorite real estate advisor here in the beautiful state of Minnesota. I am so excited because today we are going to be talking about everything that you need to know when buying a home in Minnesota. Now, as you can see, we are building a little bit of a community here. It's been awesome to see everybody's comments and all of the subscribers as we start to grow this awesome thing called a YouTube channel. And I would love it if you also would hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything that we post on the channel. And without further ado, let's jump right in. So, okay, first things first, Minnesota is known for its lakefront property. Now, it's also known for its acreages, its walkout basements, and depending on what type of year of house that you are buying, it's gonna have a certain architectural style. And we do have a lot of split levels here in Minnesota, particularly the homes that are built in the suburbs in the late 20th century. A lot of them are going to be split levels, and that's just something that you should be prepared for as you start to go on your home tour with your agent. Hopefully it's me. Okay, and then a second question that I get asked often is, Mac, how bad are the winters here? And I know that you've probably seen the movie Fargo and you just see like this long dirt road surrounded by all of this snow. There are areas like that, but for the most part, it is not as bad as what you may think it is going to be going into it. Especially over the past couple of winters, our last couple of winters have been particularly mild. Because of the climate change that we have seen, we are seeing that our winters are becoming warmer and warmer. The days of it being 30 below frigid for 6 months out of the year is not really a thing that you can probably expect. We do have a short section in the early to mid parts of January referred to as the polar vortex when the Canadian systems do come down, thanks Canada. When they come down and they do then stay on the Twin Cities for that 7 to 10 day period on average where we do experience some pretty significant wind chills. Wind chills? Wind chills. And that's gonna be the worst part of it. Once you are past that, you're gonna be pretty much in the clear. And after you have handled that and you can share on Instagram and Facebook that you survived 30 below wind chills, you can brag to all your friends if that's really a thing, you're gonna be fine after that. And also, this is a thing that not a lot of people talk about. You do acclimate in either direction relatively quickly. So if you are not used to colder temperatures and you move to a colder climate, you will get used to it. If you are used to a colder climate and you move to a warmer climate, maybe whether it's humid or otherwise, you will get used to it. Our bodies are incredibly resilient machines and they will get used to the climate and acclimate over time. So tip number 3, the neighborhoods matter. The neighborhood that you choose to live in Minnesota can make all the difference. And this is not a judgment about what neighborhood is better than the other, it's whatever is better for you. Now, you've probably heard of the heavy hitters like Edina, Wayzata, Minnetonka, those kind of flashy suburbs on the western side of the Twin Cities. But there are also plenty of hidden gems. And a lot of these I've actually talked about in my previous videos, so I definitely encourage you to go look through some of my other videos that I posted and see if there might actually be a hidden gem place for you. Each suburb has their own unique vibe and strengths and community feels. Not to be too woo-woo, but the energy of the place that you live in absolutely affects your day-to-day experience. It's not just about, you know, the ratings of the schools or the walkability that Zillow has for you, which most of the time I also wonder where they get that from as a side effect. Like, it's an algorithm-based walkability score, and you know, AI is getting good, but that ain't that good, okay? There is still some wiggle room, and even more important, that why you should work with an advisor that knows the area and that they can then guide you in the direction that is gonna be best for you. So let's talk money. So this is something that not everybody thinks about when purchasing their home. When you purchase property, you are then responsible for those property taxes. Now, Minnesota has property taxes that vary by county and city, and that can be a significant portion of that mortgage payment. Now, the rate will depend on the home's value and its location. And some suburban areas might have lower property taxes, but other areas might have higher property taxes. But here's the kicker, is that in Minnesota, you do actually get more value for that. Minnesota is one of the highest rated in terms of taking property taxes income and implementing that in its community. You feel like you're actually getting something for your money rather than just taking it and putting it in a bin and just lighting it on fire, because sometimes there are expenses that just feel like that. Tip number 5, understanding Minnesota's housing trends. The Minnesota housing market is very competitive, especially in the Twin Cities. In the spring and summer months, the inventory tends to come on more. We tend to have more inventory, but so do are the buyers. Because we are more of a seasonal market during the spring and summer months, it tends to be busier, and then it falls off towards the fall and winter. Frankly, people just don't want to move during the winter. They want to move when it's warm out, and then they don't have to sweat through their jacket as they're moving their couch through and whatnot. So understanding the trends and which market is actually going to be better for you. And this is something that I talk about with several of my buyers that are not beholden to like a school schedule or can move at any point. Maybe they're renting or living with someone rent-free and they're able to choose when it is they move. They might actually want to move during the fall, because then the sellers that are still on there have been through the late summer market, still haven't procured an offer, and probably are going to be more willing to work with you and give you more concessions to get off the market. So something to think about if you are thinking about buying a house. The next part, the importance of disclosures and inspections. This is another crucial piece of the puzzle. Inspections and disclosures are huge. One, we are a pretty heavy disclosure state in Minnesota. Some states in the country, they don't require practically any disclosures, and it is the buyer's risk whether or not they choose to actually purchase a property or not. We do have certain protections for buyers in Minnesota, and a part of that is referring to what is called the seller's disclosure. Now, sellers can choose to fill out what's called an alternate seller's disclosure, but even on the alternate seller's disclosure, which essentially is asking the buyer to waive their right to all of the material facts that the sellers may or may not know, still has some pieces of information like, was there meth on the property? Has there been any radon tests, and anything else that the seller may potentially want to disclose? But nonetheless, in the full seller's disclosure, you then have all of the pieces of information, how old the roof is, is there a difference in the roof on the exterior buildings or any outbuildings, garages, you name it. That will have a lot of information on the house, what's working, what's not working, have they had any pets? A lot of little pieces of information that will actually make a huge difference for you in terms of doing your internal calculus of whether or not this is actually a house that you would be wanting to buy. So the next tip, the closing process in Minnesota. So once you found your dream home, you're like, oh my gosh, this is it. I can see myself hosting Thanksgiving and Christmas and Toyotathon here. You're like, I want to put an offer on this house. Now in Minnesota, the closing process is fairly straightforward, but there are a few things that you should still be mindful of. So you're going to want to work closely with the three main people, the Holy Trinity, your lender, your title person or your closer, and your real estate agent. Now those three are going to work in tandem to do separate pieces to make sure that you have all of the T's crossed and the I's dotted to make sure that you can close on the property. There is a lot of paperwork that you are going to sign in order to buy this huge asset that is a house. And don't forget, there are closing costs. And these can range anywhere from 2 to 3, sometimes even a little bit higher depending on the property that you are purchasing. And they include title fees, lender fees, appraisal, home insurance premiums may be wrapped into that. If you have any discount points, that might be wrapped into it, and taxes. That is something that you will need to be prepared for, because a lot of people think, oh great, I just have the down payment on the house, that's what I then need to actually buy it. And closing costs are a part of that package that you do need to plan for. So there you have it. There is everything that you need to buy a house in Minnesota. Whether you're moving here and buying your first home, or being a move-up buyer and then selling your current place that you're in, I am more than happy to be there to help you every step of the way. I do offer a consultation, which you can book using the description link down below, or you can scan that QR code in my banner on my channel. That will then bring up a link for you to schedule a time with me. Again, I offer it as a free service. There's no strings. I'm not gonna make you sign anything or commit to anything. This is literally just what are your goals and what are your timelines looking like, and how best can you plan ahead to make sure that you get the house of your dreams. We're not just about the transactions here, we are about making your dreams a reality. And if there's one thing that we know from real estate is that real estate is the quickest path to personal wealth and personal wealth freedom. And if that's not what we're building towards, I don't know what is. All right, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe. And also, if you want to learn more about Minnesota, Minneapolis, real estate in general, or maybe even a little bit about me, be sure to watch another video, maybe even potentially this one. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye now.